Welcome to the new episode of Beyond the Dance Floor. Today we are in Delft with a special guest, Ilse Maria Anna.
Hello!
Our beautiful dancer and zouk teacher, zouk dancer and zouk teacher. And we're gonna discover even more about her today because actually we don't know much about each other. I followed a couple of classes of Ilse, one bootcamp, and I was really impressed by her teaching and how she was as a person in the class. So this is why we're here. Actually, we want to know more about you, Ilse,
Yay!
and we hope you can share with us a little bit your personal story and journey in your dancing life, but also let's see which subjects are gonna pop up
For sure.
during the conversation.
For sure.
Yeah, tell us about like who you are.
Who I am. Well, you already said my name. My name is Ilse and I'm 37 years old and grew up here in Delft, moved away to Amsterdam for a little bit. And my dance journey started in 2011 here in Delft. Because back then I had a boyfriend who danced break dance and I did some street dance, but we wanted to dance together and that did not really work. Other than like slow dancing, what you do in high school.
Why didn't it work?
Because we didn't know how to move together.
Okay.
So we knew how to move alone, but we didn't know how to move together.
Okay.
Connection.
No connection.
So we started looking for partner dances and something that would be in Delft, and we just looked up videos and we saw salsa, bachata, and tango, but then we saw zouk. And with the other one, like, nah, but with zouk, we're like, oh. And even though zouk is not always that big, like you have salsa in every city, but there was a trial the next week of zouk here in Delft, and we went to the trial class, signed up, he broke up with me, and I manifested that he would not come back so I could keep the dance. And it worked, because I'm still here. So it's been quite the journey, but yeah.
Who was giving classes back then?
Mike and Mahisa, the same ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they're my zouk
They're your
mom and daddy.
teachers.
Because I met one of my best friends there, and I wasn't no longer in a relationship, and I had to make a decision: either sit at home and cry, or actually go out to dance. And I usually before, when I would feel sad, I would stay at home and like exclude myself. And I'm like, nah, I need to make a different decision, and it really saved my life. Dance really saved my life. So I went. When I met one of my best friends there, we went to all the parties, all the socials, extra classes, training. So it went quite quickly. So quite quickly, I was also assisting the classes, and they asked me for the demo, like the student team, to give shows, and I just got sucked into the world of Brazilian zouk.
And what was it about zouk that attracted you so much compared to other social dances?
I felt that watching the video, it was a video of Leo and Laisa. They were still a dance couple back then. And it was a show and she was wearing a red dress. I still remember because this is 2011, guys. I felt like there was, besides connecting, besides that it was a partner dance, there was so much more creativity and openness in what they showed, and so much more working with all the levels of the body. And as I was already had some experience, I didn't dance that much street dance or hip hop, but I had some experience. I really felt like I really wanted to move my body and really like express myself, and I didn't really feel that with the other dances. They were doing the rhythm of the salsa music or bachata music, but I didn't feel like they were using all of the parts that could be expressed, you know? So zouk really moved me, because it didn't just touch a part of me of like couple dance and moving to the music, but also really expressing yourself and really going deeper on levels that I didn't see with the other dances. So this is what inspired me to go to
creativity.
Yeah, and another side is that on one hand it has its beauty that Brazilian zouk you can dance on almost every type of song. On the other hand, it makes it more difficult for us to spread the love of zouk because the identity is so broad. You cannot, with bachata or salsa, you can specify to a specific music that you hear, but we don't have that anymore with zouk. Like we used to have that a lot more when lambada became was rising. But now because we dance to everything, like our brand is not that clear.
Yes.
So it's beautiful, and this is also why we can reach specific type of people that can really find themselves in the dance that wouldn't be able to do that in other dances. But on the other hand, it's also a bit more difficult to bring the name of zouk outside into the world.
And also, I think it's well, I won't say it's less structured, but because it asks so much from your body, so much more than salsa and bachata in that sense, that it attracts different people, I think.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the things, I think, why it's difficult to spread zouk love so much as other dances. It is a difficult dance.
Is it also more to do with self-awareness? Because what I hear is that you're so aware of your own body and the movement and the energy that you feel in every cell, that you're more aware of the body within and then express it outwards.
Can be. I feel like with zouk, you do need to have this self-awareness as you are using all the levels of your body and not just the stepping part. The moment that you get more into like an advanced level, intermediate advanced level, you need to have this body awareness for yourself, but also of others, to execute these movements safely for your own body.
Exactly.
And I feel that with all the dances, of course, but for me, it's like with whatever type of dance you do, it's like building a house. If you want to have a beautiful house and you want to paint the walls pink and you want to hang up a pretty painting and a beautiful shining lamp, you can only do this if the house can stand. If you don't have a nice foundation, your house will collapse all the time. So you need your foundation. You need to build your structure, and on top of that structure, then you can, now I want a green wall, and now I want this wall, because you already have your structure.
Exactly.
So this self-awareness on top of the structure will, and if you're then confident enough or at least excited to express yourself, then you can create magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course you have moments in zouk there that you're really search for connection.
Yes.
I need a connection. You have a like close embrace, we call it. She doesn't dance yet. Zouk yet. So I'm explaining a little bit, but there are moments that so you have also that kind of awareness where you kind of get aware of like where you are compared to your partner. Not only body awareness, but also like awareness of like, I have to connect with this person in a different way than just follow the like movements, so that's also something.
Or you have the opportunity to.
You have opportunity.
Because you don't have to. I think with zouk there's a lot of layers. You can go to the real connection state where you really, as two humans, are sharing something, a specific type of energy that feels like the warmest hug.
Yes.
But you can also have the most technical dance with going crazy with all the movements that we have, or you can have a real funky dance because you have a specific song with a nice groove and you're really just playing together with the musicality. Like there's so many layers that you can have.
I think you're one of the few dancers that I saw, at least, that can incorporate all these things that you're talking about. Actually, now you can really be funky, on a like hip hoppy and funky on some music, and then flowy on others. So that's also such a strength, I think, as a teacher and as a dancer, to have that ability. It feels, I'm starting to see this strength inside of me, but before that I just really enjoyed that I was able to just go to so many different types of vibes, to just be a chameleon in the dance. And like, you just want to go huggy dance and just isolation is perfect. You want to go crazy, okay, let's go. You want to do head movements for 4 minutes, okay, perfect. Let's go. Like if you have. But I think as well, I was teaching last weekend in Bulgaria and exactly also about these different bodies within dance, and trying to invite people to explore other energies. Like okay, you feel like you're for example, you're water. You feel like I'm just water. I don't like fire. But do you not like fire because you don't like fire, or because you've never tried? Have you not allowed yourself to try on a different body? Because maybe there's more bodies and more elements inside of you That you even know.
Yes,
Yeah,
you never
explore.
experienced. Yeah.
But you need to get the space to do this, of course,
Yes.
and feel the freedom and feel the security within either yourself or from a teacher or from a group that you're training in to explore this.
Yes.
But Zouk gives this, and this is why I love Zouk.
And you said already a little bit about the zouk changed in time since you started. Going from this lambada and more beat based and beat connected towards some much more modern dance, freely contemporary dance almost. Huh?
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit more about that?
I think
what happened and why?
What happened? Like I'm not a zouk historian, so I don't.
Okay, if you know,
people please
you
comment if I'm saying anything wrong. But what it felt like for me, because I was not there at the start of the lambada, but the Netherlands was the first country where Brazilian zouk came to.
In Europe, you mean?
In Europe,
yeah,
yes, in Europe, because first it was Argentina, and I think by Gilson Damasco.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was lambada.
Lamba zouk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole history. Like I don't want to get too much into the whole history of
more in Netherlands. I mean.
Yeah, I feel before we danced more to zouk love, like more the Caribbean music. And we already had a bit of like funky, well not funky, but how to call them, I don't know, poppy songs, like pop songs that we were dancing to, but the beat was really clear. And then things also started to change a little bit. We got also a lot more neo zouk, which was also really cool, but this was more flowy. And then we had a period of very transcendental music and something they called zouk planta. This is where the zouk planta.
Planta, what does it mean?
Plant, like a plant.
Oh,
you're just standing in the middle of the dance floor like a plant, and you're not moving because your roots are in the ground.
Oh, really?
So a lot of this was happening, and
a lot of hugging.
Yes. So, but I think sometimes you need specific phases that they go very big, and then it calms down again.
Like hypes, yeah.
Yes, and then a lot of like dirty beats, and I think Dutch DJs are really good at this. A lot of the music that is being used now is a lot of them are also Dutch DJs. They have like really this bassy, like grounded, like poppy songs, but I really like it. Yeah.
So what you're saying actually is that the scene is like the developments in zouk scene are music driven. Almost.
Not sure if it's music driven. Can be. Not sure. This is just what I've experienced in
observed,
and how people responded to this, or it was the part of how people wanted to connect or wanted to express, and the music came with it, because the music has always been there.
Okay.
But
it's always a bit of a combination. Like with the chicken and egg, what is the demand and who are reacting to some things, and then how they jump into it.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't dance zouk, but I dance kizomba. So for me, a lot I recognize about that, because you're saying planta and I immediately go to douceur.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, there are so many things that are almost the same. And for me especially, I think the longing.
Yeah.
Like, how do I feel in this moment? So also during an evening, sometimes you feel like, I see this person, I feel this connection. And then all of a sudden you feel that relaxation, and out of that you just go, what you say, funky, groovy.
Yeah.
You go just a bit crazy and have fun together.
Yeah.
And you don't have to keep with the style that you're on. And also within a song, like sometimes you can go to the deeper levels, and for me that's also surprising.
Yeah.
Like how can you hear the same song, and like you say, if you hear the same song, how do you feel like water within the song?
Yeah.
How do you feel like fire? And you hear
within
the same music.
Yeah.
And just go through all the elements.
Yeah, and it's
explore.
Beautiful how you can adapt to each other's type of flavor, type of elements, depending on the music, depending on your partner, but it's beautiful when you can do that together.
Yes, when you can share it and when you can bring it to the next level.
Yeah,
like bringing the air and the fire together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that clash or not?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah. How did you deal with that? When you're like, you're feeling the music differently than your partner, and your partner wants to be flowy and you want to be sharp.
I adapt.
You adapt. Yeah.
Yeah, or it depends, or how, if I don't feel like the other person wants to adapt to, like the song is fire and I feel the song is fire and the other
Yeah.
person is water, we go very slow. I struggle a little bit, but it's more in the sense when it's still something you do together. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
find my way how to do it
How to-
together,
Yeah.
how we can find each other within this.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is this something that you learned through time by doing it, or were you always so adaptive?
If we're let's go a little bit deeper.
2011.
I think dance and a lot of things in dance translate into life. I think a lot of the insecurities, doubts, struggles, happiness, love, what we experience within dance, we also experience in real life. I think just in dance we get a lot more mirrors, a lot more things that resonate or things that trigger us, because it's more in the forefront. Like, for example, if you compare yourself to other dancers, or if you, how you feel a certain way with a specific person. Like, I'm not gonna hug a stranger like this in the supermarket, right? So so there's a lot of things that for me translate to life. And for example, the thing about adapting, like I'm already like this person in real life. I'm used to adapting myself to the situation or to the energy, or I'm not saying that this is the reason why I do this in dance, but maybe because it's easier for me to switch. But also becoming more aware of the people pleaser in me, and then finding like, how can I show also my own voice within this is also how one of the ways how I found my own voice in dance, because I also I needed to learn how to express myself instead of just be like, oh, but the follower or the leader decides 100% of the dance, because there was a moment where I'm like, nah, we do this together.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation. Yeah, so I think with adapting, and it's also a part because I want to do something. I want to create magic together. I don't want to do this by myself. I don't want like. And sometimes even you want just the other person to shine, to feel like I'm great that I can be this support. I just go within your movements, and because I see something happening with the other person, I'm like, oh, I'm very happy to witness that as well. So
and the other way around, I think we learn through dancing. We learn about ourselves, and it becomes like the light that shines onto our life, like how we are in life actually, and then you can also soften, I would say, in that sense, in your daily life.
Yeah,
even.
for sure. That's also the beauty of dance, and I think zouk is one of the most perfect dances for this. And especially, but like you say, it translates in life, because also some of the students that need to be this dominant person in real life, and then in class they try to control the dance, and that's where they have the possibility to learn to also surrender, and also to release specific control. So it's therapy.
It's therapy.
And daring to make mistakes within it.
Yeah.
Like, just keep stepping, just
Yeah.
do it, and don't be scared. You're already on your way. Make that mistake. It's okay.
Yeah. But it helps if you have the right guidance and the right teacher and the right like community that also gives this space to make this journey and to
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So there's
You
so
feel
much
safe there.
layers to dance.
Yeah.
As my journey when I started Brazilian zouk went quite quickly with Totally Zouk within Delft. It changed my life so much that I also wanted to, because I worked as a caretaker for mentally and physically disabled people, and it started to, the hours with this started to mess with the hours of dance, and then I realized, okay, I need to make a decision. Do I want to dance more or not? And I did. So I quit that job. My then partner at the time, we were also invited to teach at some places, so that's how that started. That partnership broke, and right after I found a new partner, Felipe Nascimento from Brazil. He asked me to teach with him a Dutch zouk, and that was because no, there was a time in between, because I also danced kizomba. I also quit zouk for some time.
Confession time.
Phases.
For like a bit longer than a year, but when that relationship broke, I came back to zouk. Wait, my brain is going everywhere. No, my memory is not the best. Zouk, kizomba, then come back to zouk again.
Mm-hmm.
We've then partners, started to teach, the relationship broke, found another partner, Felipe Nascimento, and with him we started to teach more and more, and it really worked. We had a similar brain, hearing all the things, like we are both very musical, so we both heard all the things in the music, and he's crazy smart as well with how the body works, biomechanics, so it was really cool also to have this partnership with him. I learned a lot from him. And when we really started with our tour, when we would start our second tour, we would teach in Brazil. I was invited to go teach there, and then COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then I quit dancing, like completely. I went, because the world went online, and for me, my anxiety went up. And this, like a lot of things happened in these few years. I lost my baby sister, I got a burnout, I was taking care of my parents. Like there was a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like I needed all of this to go inwards and to really feel like, where do I go next? Who am I alone? Because I also always kind of relied on other people, and I was kind of done with that. So I needed to go back to basics, kind of. So slowly after COVID, people already started dancing. I was still afraid to go to parties, afraid to go, like this was quite the journey to come back to dance. I will not go too much into detail, but it was a tough journey, but one that I needed to go through. It gave like the bitch slap in the right direction. And this is how I grew my own dance, and this is how I started to go through the anxiety, through depression, through all these things, but with the right people. I had beautiful people like Lisa from Utrecht. She really helped me a lot. I had my friend Jamil from the US who came to visit me a few times. I had Saba, who from London, who was there, such a big support for me through the loss of my sister. And like slowly but surely I got some really amazing people around me. I'm so careful with who I choose now, but because of this support of all these people, I found my dance and my voice, and because I was afraid to teach alone, and I'm like, now I feel also okay to do this, and I know what I want to say, and I know what I want to share, and I know where I want to go, and this is how I can be this chameleon without, like, I love working with other people, but I'm so happy that I can now just rely on myself. And I feel that that's the journey that I needed.
Now you have that real core connection.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I think this is how my journey went up, and now I really also feel that now that the more I work from the heart, the more I work that my classes are more with what I want to bring. I use dance as a tool, but I want to bring people to get excited about their own dance and how they can be musical and creative. I love also teaching step and technical things, but I love doing it with a little side note of like, but do it as you, like, get excited to, like bring that love. So to bring people closer to themselves.
To themselves and to each other by that. It's a wonderful goal to have. Wonderful mission.
So I'm really enjoying my journey, and I'm really enjoying where I'm headed, and I'm very grateful that
and you stepped out of the Delft team, I would say, and you started really like going abroad and teaching more in that sense. And for that you have different partners. So every time you go somewhere else, how does that work actually?
Or they ask me, because one person that I love to work with is my brother, is Casio, and he is dance partners with Anya, and they're beautiful together. But I'm happy that I sometimes can borrow him for my dance part, because he and I are a very good fit for the funky type of classes with hearts. So with him I work a lot more. We sometimes just also accept jobs together. Sometimes I just teach solo classes. Sometimes they ask, like, I have these teachers here, you can check with whom you would like to teach. Sometimes they ask beforehand, like they want to invite me, but they ask me, like, who would you like to work with, and we can check if
so you can choose or find somebody. Great.
It sounds easy. It's not that easy.
No. You have to put two agendas.
It's not just
everybody
agendas.
Has, lack of time
also, but it's
busy.
I don't have a partner, so for me training is quite hard, because it's a partner dance and you do it by yourself. So but I know that a lot of other teachers also struggle with the same thing, So my training time is when I'm at events.
Yeah. Social dancing.
Also.
How comes you don't have a partner? Dance partner?
Well, I guess this was the plan of the universe because I've been wanting a dance partner for so long, thinking I needed one, but I needed to be by myself to realize I don't need one.
But for practice, just for practice at home and kind of
that would be very nice.
It will be very nice. So if anybody feels like, if you like her, and who wouldn't, well, maybe they can write to you and ask, to try out something. Who knows?
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. So there's a few people. Also, for example, Leo I work with sometimes. Shafi from Lisbon. But
mostly people from outside of.
So sometimes here I train with some people, but mostly as a leader.
Yeah.
And it also has to do with the energy exchange, like you said. Now you know. Yeah. Also, but also with you know your boundaries so much better, because of everything that happened to you.
Yeah.
So you're also more particular of who you allow closer within your life.
For sure.
And with a dance partner, when you practice more often, they also become part of your life as well. That's inevitable. For sure. So I can imagine that you also want to keep that safe space for yourself. And to keep your boundaries within that.
Yeah.
And that's not for everyone.
No.
So that's so important
so it's
to
not
know
about
that about
dancing.
yourself.
Yeah, it's not only about the technical dancing. It's about like what kind of person you are and does that fit to you.
No, and also if you want to choose your dance partner, I think this is a very important decision to make because it's like a marriage and you need to be on the same line with how you communicate, how you go through difficult things, what type of classes you teach, what are your goals within dance? Do you want to teach shows or teach shows? Do you want to travel abroad or just regular classes? Like you need to be very aligned. And also how you think about specific things. The one teaches head movements like this, the other one thinks it's completely wrong. You need to, there's a lot of layers for sure. Ways. And I think one of the things, one thing that I didn't mention, also one thing that also helps me a lot in this journey and especially doing it by myself is my coach. I have a coach, her name is Sheila dos Santos. She's my angel from Brazil. She's my
personal coach,
dance coach,
dance
coach, but personal coach. She doesn't allow me to say life coach, but for me, she means so much to me. She's done so much for me, and like the connection I have with her, she's so special, and like she also helps me too because I have ADHD and my brain is one big mess usually. So, but she helps me create order in this chaos, and also I have ideas for specific classes and she helps me to create these classes in an order that it makes sense or gives inspiration. And we talk about life as a dancer, life as a woman within dance, life as a female solo teacher. Yeah. So she's very precious to me. I think I'm forgetting a lot of people who helped me on this journey. Also the Totally Zouk family, they took me in coming back after being afraid of dancing, being afraid of being with people. They took me in so much with starting to dance again, so I'm super grateful for them as well. But I think dance is community, and I think we cannot do things alone. No. We get a lot further when we do it with other people.
The step to choose for like a life coach, dance coach, how did that come into your life? Was it with awareness, or was it more like it just happened? And
no, it didn't. I don't think it just happened. I met her at Cologne Zouk Festival 2 years ago, and she was also one of the teachers, so she's also a dance teacher. And there was the teacher's presentation, and they did it in a way, instead of couples with their partner, they did like random partners. So it can be like that. It's very different partners. And she started to dance with someone who's more fire and more like, and he wanted to lead her into something like, I don't know, a spin or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm gonna do this. And for me, that was so powerful. Because usually as a follower, you feel like, no, I need to be perfect. So I need to try all the difficult shit to look mwah. And she's like, no, I'm going to choose my own fire. And that for me was so, I fell in love with her right then. And then I found out she's a coach. And then she's also was the coach of Julinia. And then like right after she became the coach also of Lisa. And then I started as well. I'm like, perfect fit. So we speak online because she lives in Brazil, and she also travels. So our meetings are online, we talk about how we are, because we're also friends. We're not just she's not just my coach. And then we talk about where I am in the dance right now, what feels most important for me to talk about. Sometimes it's about the struggles. Sometimes it's about, okay, I have a class tomorrow and I have these ideas. How can we make it like this? And then we just talk about this and what it brings, and we talk about like we figure out together who I want to be as a dancer, as a teacher, as a human. What is my goal? Like I'm using for example the Virginia and the lateral and a bonus in my class, but the goal is for people to get creative and whatever. Like, yeah, she helps me structure these things and find out more, like like going more towards the direction that I'm like what fits with me and my path.
And you mentioned something about being a woman, being a female teacher in zouk scene, or maybe in dance scene in general. What did you learn about that? What is your opinion?
Even though I think I'm not so embedded in all the other couple dances, but at least in zouk we've had quite a journey of before being very male teacher based community is not the right word, but like scene
world,
it was
zouk world.
Well, life is mostly based on men, right? So this also translated in dance, and it was there was also still some machismo in the dance, and I'm not saying that the teachers that I know are like this, but it was just a specific world, and if it's already so it's hard to change. Like, leaders would get invited by themselves, and you can just choose anyone, and women would not get invited, and if they would get invited by themselves, you can teach lady styling,
or not
as
get
if
paid.
we don't
or
not get paid and we get paid less. This is changing. Like, there's a lot more, we have a lot more female role models now within the dance, solo role models, or even within a couple, but showing their own power in a way that, like, also students and people who are just in the community as dancers feel that it can be different and that they have a voice, and that but it's still not easy as a non-Brazilian female solo teacher. It has its struggles, but again, things are finally changing, which is nice. People are starting to see that there's just as much power in this, and that, like, I have, like, for me, my role models in Europe are Jay, Juliana, and Lisa, and Monica, because they're showing that it's possible, and they're putting in all the work, and this is so powerful for me. And of course I have other role models also, like from Brazil and other parts, but for me these women are my peers here.
And you're now our role model. You know that.
That's how it begins, right?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
You show it can be done, and other person is gonna start feeling like, okay, they did it. Why wouldn't I be able? And then they make a step.
It's a big honor, and I feel the responsibility. I'm starting to feel the responsibility as well, what I can bring with my voice. So,
does that feel like also like this responsibility? Does it weigh on you a lot, or do you feel like finally I can show or be myself?
It's
both. Or is it both? Yeah,
it's both. I think, like, I'm human. I struggle with my insecurities as well, and my fear of judgment and rejection, and of not being good enough. But on the other hand, I also see that I have a voice, and it's some people like to listen to this voice, and that I have something to bring to the table, that I have something that I can help create in this Brazilian zouk world with not only followers but also leaders. Because why should your role model be of the same gender? Because
it's not. It's weird.
Yeah, it can be, but it doesn't need to be. You know, so. I'm starting to own up more to this responsibility, and I hope that I can find my own voice in a way how I can use it to also bring something to others, not just with steps.
You're a great follower and a great leader.
Thank you.
How did that develop? And what are your observations being on both sides of the story, being a leader and being a follower? How do you switch between? I want to know everything. Just tell me more.
Okay. So first off, how it started, I think I quite quickly started to lead as well, because once you start to assist classes, you also want to explain things. And my brain was like, yeah, I don't want to keep asking a leader to explain things. I just want to know how it works, because yeah, why, you know, like I wanted to be able to explain these things as well. I really enjoy leading. I get this different energy. When I'm a follower, I can like go towards the surrender state, and it's not always surrender, because I also bring out my own voice. But when I'm a leader, I get this more masculine energy. I get more this like, okay, I got this, I got you. In a way
taking
that
care of you.
Yes, but it's a nice feeling, and it's not in a machismo way. It's like it's more it's nice to make someone else feel safe within the dance, because the more safe you feel as a follower, the more you are able to do in your dance, the more you're able to let go or show your own dance, or like even show that what type of techniques you have, because the more scared you are, the more your body tenses, the less you're able to also follow specific things, right? There's several levels.
Safety. Wow.
For sure. So I like giving this as well, but I also like this energy of like this bit of leader energy, but also what I hear in the music, I can express a lot more.
Yeah.
Even though, because you're also taking care of another person, so I like that you have to really be focused on all these different things, expressing different things. The quality of movement is very different as a leader, and passing on information is very different. So I like all the sides. Yeah, and for you to be, in my opinion, a proper leader, you cannot, if you're a follower and you start to lead, you cannot lead as a follower. And what I mean with this, sometimes followers who start to lead, they still have the follower energy. So to go with the movements of their partner, to respond right away, to not take this like, okay, but I need to be
ahead.
Yes, I need to be the one ready to guide the movements. Not 100%. Again, like what you said, it's a conversation. I don't want to dictate the entire dance for 4 minutes, but I need to be the one to initiate specific things and be ready to
be clear in the movement.
Exactly, and I feel like you cannot 100% be that if you have the follower mindset. So you need to also, but it helps also something internally to be like, okay, I'm ready to be a leader, and this is again translation to life, right? To take charge, to like be like, okay, I'm gonna take your hand and like let's go on a journey, let's go on a trip.
Yes.
You know, instead of like, I'll take my hand. And then both sides are really nice.
Yes, really, and you can see that definitely in some male leaders who are much more feminine and followy. I like that because I get much more room, of course, because they start following me and I'm taking over, which is, of course, bad. But I mean, it can be, of course, also nice for. It is often nice, as I hear from the leader, like, oh, you're filling in my gaps, kind of, when I feel insecure or don't know what you're doing something. So it can fit to some leaders, but then you see these same leaders are struggling in the life with their too much female energy or lack of dominant energy, male energy, where they have to be making decisions and that kind of stuff. So it's really like parallel worlds, you know. How do you make sure that your follower is feeling safe with you? How, like, in practical terms?
I guess first of all, ask a person their name, take them to the dance floor, and also take them back to the side. And because sometimes we're missing these leaders, then sometimes they just let you go in the middle of the dance floor. Bye.
Yeah.
I like to still be a gentle lady and like bring the follower. Thank you for the dance to like not leave them stranded. But I think it's also the way of physical touch is, for me, I'm trying to be as like really present so that they feel that I'm really there. I never thought about this, how I make them feel safe. I try to be clear in my guidance, but also keep making them feel that I hear what they're saying. that I hear how they respond, if their weight is on the left or the right leg, do they have balance, if they're losing balance, that I feel like that I give them the support, that they feel like I got you, or like when I'm with specific movements that I don't know, I try to keep checking in. I really that there's communication with the bodies and the eyes and like.
So you're very, very active next to the moves that you're making and guiding them and trying to give signals. You're very active in like perceiving how they are reacting on you.
Yeah.
And like you even saying like I have to check which leg they're on before I make a move. I cannot just execute a movement assuming stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very, very important what you're saying, and there's a lot of people can learn from this how to have this adaptability. When we're talking about adaptability, it's not only feeling the tension in the body and adapting to that.
No, and
pushing
also
more or less.
See what kind of creativity they want to portray in the dance and give them more freedom if I feel they want to express more or. I just for all the dances, if I'm leading or following, like joy is for me like very important, and expressing things together to just play. I just really go into like it's you and me, and I think
nothing else exists.
I think this already creates safety, at least also for me. When I really feel from a leader like it's you and me, let's play together, then I already start to feel a lot more safe.
Yeah. What guided you to become a better follower in your own specific journey?
Several things. Besides solo practice, like because the crazy movements we do, if you just practice them with other people, you're gonna there's a chance that you will be so reliant on your partner to execute it properly. And if especially things with head movements, if you have specific solo exercises that you can do, so that you, because that's where we go back to the beginning of the conversation, like the body awareness, the self-awareness. You are like, okay, my weight is here, my body's doing this, if I do this with the head and I feel this here. You don't have time always when you're practicing this with a partner or on the dance floor. And especially with things that can be more dangerous if you don't do them properly, like head movements, to practice them by yourself and to just figure out your own body, put on a song, just like explore. Like, what does your body do? How can I do it? Maybe look at a video, cut one part, see what the follower is doing, try to mimic that by yourself to see how that feels on your body. So solo practice, solo expression. Also just put on music. What does the music make you feel? And to play around with this. And I think also realizing that within dance, couples dance, it's communication and it's not just you blindly following the leader's every guidance, which sometimes is nice. I'm not gonna lie, I love it sometimes when my brain is dead. I'm like, you lead me, I don't want to think, I want to surrender completely. Please guide me for 4 minutes without me needing to think for myself. Sometimes I love this. So I'm not saying that there's something wrong with it, but know that your voice can also be heard. That there's gaps that you where you have the space, where you give in space. See if it feels okay for you to fill in that space with your own creativity. If you don't want to, don't do it. But if you feel like you want to try, maybe try. Like, oh, you're in the lateral, my shoulder is free. I hear a pling in the music. I do pling. I don't know. Just to start to feel that you have more of a voice than we sometimes think. And leaders really like it. Leaders like it when you give input as well. Not to hijack the dance. You're still the follower. Because you chose to be a follower in this moment. But leaders like it as well if you sometimes give different
you show yourself
ideas and if you show yourself to create it together because leaders sometimes are also tired to guide for 4 minutes
and also to bring in the playfulness maybe a bit
for sure.
Not just that it becomes so super serious, because it can be, and then you're like no, just make a joke or
yes, exactly. And that's when you're really doing it like together and it becomes a conversation and like brings such joy.
I think you're tackling very, very important things for us to hear, for me personally, because of this, like I'm very dominant in life, so it's very hard for me to not hard to surrender, but I can get there. I know how to get there, but it takes some time.
For sure,
you know. I cannot do it in the first dance of the evening, but it develops during the night, kind of.
Yeah.
And it depends on the partner as well, a lot for me. So it's very very important to hear that you can do stuff on your own. You don't need a
Yes.
partner.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, that you don't have to blindly follow everything, that there is more, that
Yes.
it's not black and white,
No.
there's like more room.
Yes.
It's very, very important, because every person has their own opinion about this, you know. We talk to all these other teachers, and they emphasize the stuff that is important for them at that moment also, and what they, you know, feel in themselves. So I'm very happy that you emphasize these facets of the dance. And now
Thank
we're gonna
you.
go into the surprise questions. Let's see.
Okay.
Shuffle, because we want some more fresh questions.
Fresh questions. Fresh. Very fresh. Is this one? This is one. Okay.
Unopened yet.
Ooh. Okay. 20. Question 20. If your dancing had a warning label, what would it say? Wow. Okay. What would it say? That's a good one. I don't know. I'm getting weird thoughts right now.
That's fine.
Like beware, wild dog. No problem. Not something like this, because that's a good question. I don't know. A warning label.
Short and powerful.
Yeah,
But is it a warning label?
yeah,
It
exactly.
can be.
Because
It
warning
has to
seems
be
like
something
danger.
negative.
It seems like it needs to be negative.
yeah.
About what is it?
No, more
What's
be
negative?
aware,
What
be open. Because this might happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall in love. Be
Ah!
aware, you
Be
might
aware.
fall in love.
You will feel the mirror.
After one dance. Yeah, that's also a warning for some people.
You get to know yourself.
I think maybe that, I don't know, because again, I think because I do adapt, I want to connect. I want to be able to look to you in the eyes during the dance. But if I feel that's uncomfortable for you, I'm redirecting with how I go about the dance. But I don't know.
Can also be like that.
Be aware, connection ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like this.
Connection ahead.
Yeah. Maybe.
Great.
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay. Perfect. If you weren't a dance teacher, what completely different career would you have pursued? Well, actually, I'm looking into now, because my dance is taking such a journey, to actually see if I can also get training to become a coach. Yeah, because I really like working with people. I really like connecting with people on a personal level. When I teach private, I feel like it's really you and me, and there's a lot more going on than just dance steps. And I really like this part, and I feel like I can connect to people easily, and people can connect easily to me. At least I hope. It's the experience I get. To take it one step further, and to not just do this within dance, but to actually work with people to make them.
I think it's a great decision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
So let's see if this is in line for me next year to go completely with working from the heart.
But you're gonna be working on dance still.
Oh
on
no,
dance.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. No.
Okay,
I'm
good.
beginning.
That's
I'm
good.
only beginning.
I was sweating
I'm
already.
only
Like,
beginning.
oh.
Yeah, no.
But it's beautiful, because then you're evolving within. And
Yes.
also for me,
It connects
I think-
together.
Yes. And also with the coaching, you can't go wrong, because you're coaching yourself while you're doing like studies in that direction.
Yes.
And you can always see what ways out.
Yeah.
So it's
And it
it's
fits
a
for both
win-win.
sides, and I can use it in my dance, and I can use things from dance within this. So I really feel that
Amazing
this year
idea.
I want to work more with I feel like I cannot really work anymore with things that don't give me joy.
Oh,
So
I'm so happy
That's
that
the
you feel
living
that.
from the heart.
yeah, but for some people it's okay, and they feel very comfortable with like going to a specific job that doesn't but completely bring
Bother
me
you.
joy, but
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
I no longer can do this.
And don't do it.
No, I know. But it's a hard decision, and it's not
Yeah,
an easy
yeah,
decision.
yeah.
No.
Because money!
Yeah, of
Exactly.
course. Yeah, you have to build it kind of step
Yeah.
by step
Yes.
and transit into the new.
So let's see.
But only this idea that you're already having, that there is so much to choose from.
Yeah.
You know, there is like opportunities, and you feel like you can do it, and you resonate with people. So that's such a good sign
Yeah.
to just follow.
And I would love to explore that more and to see if I can make a real difference. I would love to see if that's possible.
Yeah.
Like for now, I'm okay with my job, but I think I want to maybe start a trainings because I don't want to do this blindly, randomly.
No.
So
And it
do
takes
properly.
guts. Takes guts, of course, to say like goodbye to your known world and life, and take the next step. But I think you're brave enough. for that.
Yeah. Because this year has been like after COVID, and I think as well because of the years I had during COVID with my parents, with my sister dying, with my burnout, I really had and me just closing off completely. Coming back really made me more and more, I don't want to say excited, but like to challenge myself, to keep pushing myself in a way. Like, and this year especially, like I'm doing so much challenging things. Like also I told myself I want to create a solo show. It scares the shit out of me, but I need to do it. If I don't have a deadline, I won't do it. So I called an organizer at your event. I want to do my show, so now I have to.
Now you have a deadline.
Now I have to. And I'm going for my driver's license, and I'm teaching solo classes, and I'm like, I'm really challenging.
Yeah.
But
And you're enjoying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can
It's
see
a
when you're
lot of
talking about
struggles,
it.
but
Yeah.
it's giving me so much.
And daring
Right.
yourself to see the beauty in life again.
Yes. Yeah.
That it's
And-
still
and
out
taking
there.
like
While knowing the other.
And helping others to see
Yeah,
it too,
exactly.
because sometimes life gets so much here, and we forget to just like open the window, just
Yes.
like, clean the window a little bit.
And also not always talk about it. That's a bit of a sidestep, but I think for me, at least within dancing, I don't have to say anything and I process things.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So also as a coach, I'm like, sometimes it's also good to talk about things, just to let it out and to release.
But it's more.
Sometimes you want to go to those deeper layers, and then it's about feeling.
Yeah.
And like you said, practice for yourself, but also when you can share it, and when that other person can give that energy, and you feel that, and you're like, I don't have to talk about anything. It just goes. It's so intense.
And sometimes you're also only able to access specific feelings because of music, because of a connection with a partner, because of specific body movements, or
they open the gate.
The body knows.
The body knows.
Yes.
The body knows.
Great.
Beautiful.
Let's do the next one.
Yes.
Okay. More questions. Okay.
We are so curious.
Let me see. Which dance move secretly makes you cringe when you see?
Okay.
Actually, there was one move that in the beginning I was like, but now I'm like, oh.
Oh, give it to me.
I saw it because I'm Dutch, but my soul is Brazilian, 100%. And I was in Brazil and I saw this dancer. I think her name is Jessica, very beautiful lambada dancer. And during the dance she did solo, and she suddenly did this. And in the beginning I'm like, no, girl, no, that's too vulgar. And later I thought like, it's actually kind of empowering. Kind of be like, and I'm like, oh, okay, why not? It's your body. You're touching your own body. You're showing yourself like. So in the beginning I was like,
I can imagine.
I kind of understand. Yeah.
That's the one.
Nice.
I don't know if I have any other.
Yeah, well, that's a.
But it's
very,
beautiful also how you grow within it. Like sometimes something triggers, and you feel like I can grow within it.
Yeah.
That's also interesting, and be honest to
Super
yourself about
Yeah, for sure. There's just sometimes some things in dance that I don't think they need to be taken to a specific level. Like there's difference between sensuality and sexuality, and I think we are, of course, our line is already a lot bigger, a lot higher within zouk, within kizomba. You know, like you're already going towards a different limit than like again the supermarket. I'm not gonna stand so close to someone in the supermarket like.
Exactly.
Well,
but in
sometimes
kizomba and zouk, we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Then
I don't
everything
even
is
know
allowed.
you. I just met you.
Exactly. So your limits are already a lot higher, but there's some movements that for me, expressing like sensuality and power within this, I love it. When it goes a bit too much to the sexual side, for me, not necessary.
Exactly, Well, that was like the first time I saw zouk. people dancing zouk, I thought like, okay, this is sex on the dance floor.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And I kind of pushed it away for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Until Willem Engel, during a modern class we were actually attending, both of us attending, he took me to the dance floor and started dancing zouk with me, and I was like, is this zouk? I want this. I was sold. I couldn't follow that much, but I was just trying, to follow what he was. He was a really good leader, but and then you find it in your own body, and you think like, oh my god, this feels so good.
Yeah.
I don't care how it looks like. I really don't care anymore. And I went into it like very fast.
Change.
I thought it was a switch, immediate switch, but it was so disgusting to watch in the beginning. It was like, this is
I had it with head movements. I thought like, are you
I have that a little bit
like
still.
I saw it for the first time. I'm like, are you taking home a drunk girl? Like, what is this? Now I love it.
It looked a little bit hysterical to me as well. And
but done properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that's the thing with zouk, right? Yeah. Like, this is also hard to make it grow because it's a dance that if you want to show it to people, it needs to be done properly. Yeah. If you want to show salsa, it doesn't need to be like. Yeah, because it's the steps, like it's easier to show to people. Zouk, it's.
Thank you so much for being today with us.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
And I see you diving into those questions. You're like so curious.
So happy to learn more about you and hear
thank
your
you
personal
for
story,
wanting to learn something.
Thank you for sharing all this personal stuff. I can imagine. It was not very easy. Last year's the COVID years, you said, and
they definitely were not.
But it brought you to where you are now, and
and I also feel like sharing. The thing is, like we mostly share the good things and the positive and the beautiful things, but these things are part of life, and usually this is also where growth lies. So I feel like I want to share these things, and not for like, oh, she's so sad. Like, no, she, like everyone else, has been through some shit, and we are all still here, and the dance is giving us so much.
Exactly.
And also how you learn from it. Like also the process. It's not just overnight. No, I decide to feel good. I'm good. No.
Yeah, no. And you need good people, like the people that I named, and also, for example, Casio, my brother, he helped me a lot. Yeah. Also with creating opportunities, like and support. Like there's quite a list of people, and I think I feel very blessed to have these people, but I also feel very blessed that the zouk world is like this. Yes. That a lot of people have their communities and have like their own list of people that help them in specific ways within the dance.
Yeah.
It's a
friendships and it's a family.
It's a chosen family, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you.